All right, RoboZone Live, we're back. We're going to do a short segment. I'm here with Dan Kimura. We're going to talk about fouls. Dan, there's a lot of fouls in this game. Like a lot of games, they have to enforce fair gameplay on the field. There are penalty points associated with some of those. Let's talk about those a little bit.
So there's a few big ones that we have to look out for. When robots are loading gears or loading balls from their loading zone, and that's in the corner of the field, indicated by a stripe of tape of their alliance color, they cannot be touched. If they are touched when they're in that zone trying to load stuff, that is a tech foul, and that's 25 points for the team that was fouled. So that's a huge penalty. It's almost impossible to overcome, a tech foul or two.
Yeah, really, because a lot of the scoring is incremental in units of 20 and or 40, but it's impossible to get an extra 40 points. There are only 4 rotors in the game. At this point in the season, most teams are getting 3, so you simply can't make back that 25 points any other way.
Yeah, but I think that there's another foul that is impactful. End game, you're seeing a lot less defense at the end of the games right now, and that's because if you contact either a robot touching their rope or the rope in the end game, you're going to see a foul.
Yeah, and that foul is the team that incurs the infraction. So if the blue alliance interferes with the red alliance's attempt to hang, the red alliance is awarded the 50-point climb even if they don't climb at the end of the match. So it's essentially giving them a free 50 points.
So there are actually times when, if you're playing that right, giving up that penalty to try to stop a climb to a robot that is a very, very consistent climber, right? Those might be times to play the risky defense.
Potentially, because the risky defense, if they're going to climb anyway, might be worth taking. If you stop them and do not incur the penalty, you can stop a 50 points, which would otherwise be a sure thing. If you incur the infraction, it's still 50 points against you, and it would have been anyway.
And I think one of the things is that we're not going to see too much defense played there because so many robots are capable of hanging. So we saw an average at our events of over 2 robots per alliance hanging.
In the playoffs, Already in week 1, we were getting a great, it was like 2.2, 2.3 average robots hanging per playoff match statewide in the opening week.
And so what that tells us, of course, is that in order to get a score of above 2, you probably have alliances where all 3 robots are capable of hanging, and there are just some failures, maybe some ropes breaking, maybe they don't line up in time. But if your entire alliance is capable of hanging and you pull somebody away to try to defend, again, we talked about it being risky defense. We talked about maybe giving the other team the points anyway. And then by the time you're done defending them, you don't have time to come back and hang yourself. So, what we're seeing at the end of these matches is the 3 alliances pretty much go to the 2 alliances pretty much go to their airships and just try to make their own climbs.
Yeah, and teams will get better at this as weeks go on. This is the first time a lot of these teams are taking the field. They don't have full practice fields, certainly not with representative airships at home. So hang is a little bit tricky, just lining up on a rope that's dangling. Some rope grabbers will grasp knots, other ones use Velcro. There's a variety of different ways to do it. Most robots are climbing in the 5 to 10 second range from when they engage the rope to when they reach the touchpad.
Yeah, but a lot of robots lining up for their climb starting at 30 seconds, which is when teams are allowed to drop the rope. But I think what you'll see as the year goes on and teams get better at climbing is they're going to try to sneak that 1 extra gear in before they go hang, or they're going to try to shoot that 1 extra load of balls.
Yeah, really, getting to the 4th gear, we haven't talked about that yet, but getting to the 4th gear, that's the holy grail of this. It's a 100-point bonus to score the 4th gear. You have to do an additional 6 gears over the 3rd one, making it very, very hard to do. It was only done a couple times nationwide anywhere in the opening weeks. It was nowhere in Michigan, right? Nobody in Michigan pulled it off. But there were a couple places elsewhere in the nation. So it's very, very hard to do. In the matches I watched, it appeared to happen when no one was trying to stop them. Mm-hmm. So we'll see if it can actually be done through aggressive defense.
Sure, and smart alliances will forego a hang to get that 4th rotor spinning, their 12th gear there. But smart defenses on the other side will forego their hang to stop them. So we might actually see less hanging in some matches if that gets close for teams to break off and either try to score that last gear or try to stop it.
Yeah, and that'll really be some exciting end game play if it happens. The thrill of can they pull off, the final 12th gear, which is worth 100 points in the final seconds by foregoing a 50-point easy bonus.
Yep. Right? So a few different strategic options at the end of the match could lead to some fun finishes. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on the next RoboZone Extra.
All right, thanks, Dan.